Yo, what's up everyone? If you're new here, my name is Gentry Stein. I'm the current world yo-yo champion, and this is my Learn to Yo-Yo series where I teach you guys how to yo-yo. If you'd like to start learning tricks, you can pick up a yo-yo on my website, gentrystein.com. It'll be the first link in the description. But let's get into today's video where we're going to be learning shutter grinds. Check this out. In the last episode, we learned an introduction to regular grinds, which look just like this. You can see I'm grinding the yo-yo right on my throw hand here. I'll link that video right up here if you guys want to check that out. And the difference between a regular grind and a shutter grind is instead of grinding the profile of the yo-yo on our hand or arm just like this, we're actually going to be grinding on the inside of the yo-yo right here. And this is one of the cool things about my signature line of yo-yos, especially the shutter, is it has this inner cup design which is going to allow you to do these types of grinds. So as you could see at the beginning, if we put our fingers in there, it actually allows us to start the spin of the yo-yo and have the yo-yo grinding on our fingers on the inside of that little cup. You may be wondering if these types of grinds are possible on other yo-yos, and while they may be possible, they're going to work way better on the shutter just because it has this inner cup design. I'll show you a quick example. This is another Yoyofactory yo-yo that just has a more common flat inner design right here. So it doesn't really have any spot to get those extra long grinds going. So instead, our only option is to just put it up under the rim of the yo-yo. And as you can see, if we try to do one of these grinds, it's only going to spin for a couple seconds there. We can't really do many tricks from it. Having that smaller diameter on the inside of the yo-yo is going to allow you to get a ton of spin out of these grinds, which really opens up limitless possibilities. You can catch it in between a trick, straight into a bind, and then it's up to you guys to get creative with it. But let's first learn how to do a basic shutter grind. Now, the first thing that's important to keep in mind is where our fingers are placed on the yo-yo. Now, what we want to do is put our thumb on our non-throw hand on the inside of that cup, and then our middle finger on that same hand on the other side of that inner lip. And what we're going to do from there is pull the yo-yo. But if you grab the yo-yo here and are touching the sides of the yo-yo with your fingers, of course when you go to pull, it's not going to work. It's going to just stop instantly. So what we want to do to actually get the spin going is make sure that that inner lip is resting right on our nail here. So we have to make sure that our thumb stays in this position where our fingernail is facing up, and that's what the yo-yo is resting on there. Now, as we bring our middle finger into the picture here, we want to make sure the same thing's going on there. You just have to make sure your hand gets in the right position. You can see here I'm holding my hand up and my thumb and middle finger nails are literally parallel. They're lined up perfectly with each other. So as soon as you start to hold it like this, then the skin on your finger is going to be touching. It's just going to stop. So it's not going to work that way. Another thing we have to be aware of is how tight we're holding the yo-yo. So we want to make sure that the tips of our fingers don't push up against the inside of the yo-yo, because then that's not going to allow it to spin either. Ultimately, we want to create as little friction on the inside of the yo-yo as possible, so that way it's actually going to spin and grind across the fingernail. The most important thing here is that the yo-yo stays resting on your fingernails. So what we need to do to make sure it stays there is keep our palm under the yo-yo. As soon as we try to bring our hand up to the side like this, there's no way the yo-yo is going to be resting on the fingernails, right? Because it's going to be resting on the side of our fingers here, touching that skin. We don't want any of the skin on our fingers to touch the inside of the yo-yo, because that's just going to create more friction. So not only do we have to watch out for our fingers touching the outside of the yo-yo, but we also have to make sure the skin around our fingernails doesn't touch the inner diameter part of the yo-yo. And that is the key to getting those long shutter grinds. So if you're practicing this, don't get frustrated. Just try it a few times. It's definitely not going to work out perfectly at first. It takes some time, but just keep in mind what things can cause the yo-yo to stop spinning, so that way when you try it, you look back, analyze what you're doing, and then you can figure out what it is that's stopping the yo-yo. What I've described so far is all going to be from the pull start, where you're starting the spin of the yo-yo with the shutter grind. But for you, it may be easier to start by actually throwing the yo-yo, getting a really nice fast spin, and then positioning your fingers, right? The thumb is first going to go on the inside of that cup, right? You can't see it here, but then my middle finger is going to go here. So I'm not even touching the yo-yo at all at this point. All I'm going to do is raise my fingers up into the lip, and then we're doing the shutter grind. You can see I'm getting a ton of spin here. Still spinning enough to get it back to my hand. Now I really recommend you guys just practice those basic versions of the shutter grind. So start by just being able to get the yo-yo to spin on those fingers just like this. Drop it until you can get it back to your hand. And from there, try doing the pull start, There's a lot of ways to bring the yo-yo back up. We can work on that in a second. But once you can do both of those versions from the throw and from the pull start, then you can try incorporating it into some tricks. And in future Learn to Yo-Yo videos, I can definitely teach some more advanced tricks from the shutter grind, but for this video, I just want to mainly focus on these basic versions. Whenever you're doing shutter grinds, you don't have to let the yo-yo sit on both fingers the whole time. You can see here, I start it that way, and then I can let go, let it grind on my thumb, and you can see how long that yo-yo is going to grind because of that small inner diameter on the shutter. Another trick we'll be learning in this series is how to do finger spins, which I'm sure you guys will be pretty excited about. But shutter grinds are actually a really great way to transition into finger spins. So let's just start with a regular throw. If we want to transition into a finger spin, we can start by doing a shutter grind, and then what we can do is tilt the yo-yo over and then let go with our thumb, and that's going to put us into a finger spin here. You can see we still have a ton of spin left, just enough to get it back to the hand. If you guys are having trouble using both the thumb and middle finger, what you can do is try just going from a throw and then just putting the thumb under that lip and just doing a regular thumb grind here. You can see the yo-yo is just resting on the top of my fingernail here on the inside of that lip. We want to make sure that we're not doing it on the upper outer rim, but on the inside of the rim. Another cool shutter grind we can do is actually pull straight into a finger spin. So instead of having the yo-yo up vertically like this with our hand under it, the yo-yo resting on top of our nails, what we can do is keep our thumb in that smaller diameter area just to help guide it. It's going to be resting on our middle finger here. So I'm just letting it rest on the middle finger, pull straight into a finger spin. Easy money. As you guys are watching this video and following along, you may be getting a bit frustrated because these shutter grinds are pretty difficult, but again, it just comes down to the position of your fingers. So just keep practicing and you guys will start nailing it before you know it. And if you guys would like to see more shutter grinds in future Learn to Yo-Yo episodes, just drop a comment down below and let me know. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this episode of Learn to Yo-Yo. I hope you enjoyed learning the shutter grinds. If you haven't already joined my Facebook group, Yo-Yo Gang, I'll have a link down below so you guys can come join. So I'll see you guys there, and I'll see you in the next video.